Welcome to the Mindset Unleashed Today podcast. My name is Tommy Gucciardo, and I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you to help you shift your mindset and improve your life. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring different areas of life, discussing how to make positive changes. Now, I'll be doing this by interviewing guests who can provide additional perspectives and their experiences. I believe that by making a mindset shift, we can all unleash our full potential and create the lives we want to live. I hope you'll join me on this journey. Welcome back, everybody, to the Mindset Unleashed podcast, where we focus on the power of the mind and how it transforms our lives on a daily basis. Today, I want to talk about resilience. And when I'm talking about resilience, I'm talking about dealing with hard truths of life, the realities of life. Things are going to happen in our lives, whether, they could be death, they could be, loss of job, they could be, relationships that aren't working out, right? And these things, they stunt us, but they could also help us grow. And I want to dive into some of the harsh realities of life that we do face and how we can overcome them. And, for me, one of the the harshest things that ever happened to me was I had to realize that I was an addict. And, it took me a really long time to figure out, that I was an addict. And, it stopped my growth, right? So, I wasn't, getting to where I was as a person in life, and I wasn't the person that I should be. And I had to realize that I had an issue and I had a problem. And once I had that problem, or once I realized I had that problem, it was easy to surrender. And once I started doing that, my life became better. So, we can live in these realities. We can live in these harsh realities of lives and, and sit in them and not do anything about them. Fear of growing, fear of change, fear of changing your life. It could be for the better, it could be for the worse, but there are realities of life that happen, right? And like I said earlier, somebody close to you could die. A relationship you're in could be burning out. Uncertainty about a future. We don't know about our future. So, we don't want to grow and we don't want to change. And that's not the way to shift your mindset to have a better life. We all deserve a better life, and our minds can play games with us and, really, throw us curveballs. And it's how we get those curveballs and how we deal with them, shift our whole life. So I'm going to talk about some harsh truths of reality and some things I've done to overcome them. And, let's see where we can go with this. So tune in. I'm glad you're here. Let's dive into it right now and get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is adversity. And I touched on that before. Life throws us curveballs. We're always going to have a curveball. No matter if everything's going perfect, your life is going perfect, something's going to happen that's going to, disrupt the flow or disrupt something that's happening. So when that adversity happens, what do you do? Right? So, let's talk about uncertainty of the future. I always get worried about my future, and I'm always worried. Well, excuse me, let me step back a second. In the past, I spent a lot of time worrying about my future and where I was going. And, that's because I was in the grips of the disease and I was having, my mind was just not focusing on the right things. So, instead of having that uncertainty, I live in the present now, right? So if something happens and that adversity comes, let me focus on it today. Let me focus on how to fix that problem today. And if you start having that mindset, when this adversity happens, you can overcome it, because we can get caught in that adversity and just sit in it and sit in it and sit in it and not do anything about it, not do anything to change, not do anything to change the thing that happened, right? So focus on today. Just focus on the moment. Focus on today. Don't worry about what happened yesterday. Don't worry what's going to happen tomorrow. Focus on today. Deal with that adversity. Get stronger for that day. And then tomorrow, you have a better opportunity to get past that adversity. And that leads me into the second, topic. We can't control everything, right? As much as we want to control things in life and much as we want to have our pulse on everything, we cannot control everything. There's other factors that come in. There's other things that happen in life that, we just can't control. And, I find that, when we're controlling every situation and we're micromanaging every situation, other situations aren't working. So you have to pick and choose the battles that you want to be involved with, that you want to, stay somewhat controlled of. But you also have to have the wherewithal to realize, when am I overdoing it and when I'm not doing it correctly, right? So, like for me, I know when Tommy controls things or Tommy takes charge of things and becomes more of an obsession, things don't end well, right? Because I'm not thinking, I'm in control. I want this situation to work the way I want it to work. I want this relationship to go where I want it to go. I want this job, or I want this project that I'm working on to go the way I'm going to go, right? And as much as I want things done my way, a lot of times there's other people involved. So you have to learn how to work with people. You have to learn how to, be a team player. Listen to what others are saying, right? Just because I'm smarter than the next person on a project doesn't mean that somebody else can't teach me something that helps that project work. So control is a good thing when used properly. But when it's used the wrong way, it doesn't work. And the next thing I really want to talk about is not every relationship is permanent, right? So when I say not every relationship is permanent, sometimes people come in your life for a season and sometimes they come in your life for a reason. So you have to take every single relationship, whether it, with your child, whether it with a significant other, whether with a coworker, whether it with, somebody that, maybe you're just an acquaintance with. Take every one of those relationships and nurture them to the best of your ability and grow with that relationship, right? And learn from that person. Because sometimes things just don't work out. People go their separate ways. Sometimes in life, even your children go your separate ways, right? But if you get something out of them and if you give something back to them and if you nurture that relationship, those relationships may be distant, but people will still remember that you gave them something or you got something from each other. And that's the beauty of, you can't harp over relationships that don't work, because sometimes they don't. Sometimes like I said earlier, sometimes they're put in your life for a reason, to teach you something or help you grow to another level. And, just be prepared for them. Be prepared for them. Be prepared for some relationships to go bad, and just get the good out of those relationships and learn from them, right? And that's the key. We have to learn from every situation that we're involved with. And the other thing I want to talk about, hard work doesn't always guarantee success. Okay? Now I'm saying that because I always tell people to work hard. And when you work hard, the one thing that you're going to get out of it is, learning how to do stuff better, learning how to be committed to something. Just work hard. Just work hard. But it's not going to get you successful. A lot of times, luck, timing, like I said, being at the right timing, which is being at the right place at the right time. You know, I can go look at a guy like LeBron James. We could look at Michael Jordan, and I'm talking about the premier athletes, Kobe Bryant, Derek Jeter, Dan Marino, some of these people that, they did put in hard work, but sometimes their talent overshoots that hard work. So just because you're working hard doesn't always mean you're going to get something. But hard work is important, you know? So, a lot of times we work on a project, we work really hard, and, maybe it fails. Maybe it fails. But how we get resilience from that is we take those failures and we figure out how to fix them and get better and still work hard. I don't want to say don't work hard, but just remember at the end of the day, just because you're doing that, it's not going to make you successful. Going to make you successful is the continuance of the hard work, is putting in your effort, and putting your effort when you don't want to put in your effort, right? Because, guys like, I talked about this before, guys like Steph Curry, he's shooting 3, 4, 500 times a day. That's effort. But he only shoots maybe 20, 25 times a night. So the amount of stuff that he works behind the scenes to make himself successful, those are the things that make him successful. So, what I'm saying is, once again, hard work doesn't guarantee success, but hard work is going to get you where you want to be. So just keep on working hard, no matter what happens. And this ties in, I mean, it's really not like what I was talking about before, but you're going to lose some people along the way. And when I talk about losing people, you're going to lose, and I'm talking about to death, or sickness or illness. Things are going to happen along the way. People are going to pass on you, right? You know, and if that does happen, it's part of life. Take it with where it's what's happening, right? Nurture the relationship that you had with these people and don't sit in it. Now, it's okay to mourn the loss. It's okay to, but if you really were, these people were really that important to you and, they meant something for you, do you think you think that person wants to, wants you to be sitting in it? No, get on with it. Get through it. Remember the good times. Remember the strong times. Remember what you learned from those people and get through. Like I had an uncle that was, God, he was like a second dad to me. He was always there for me. He always helped me out of problems. He always, he didn't look down upon me when I did stupid things. And when he passed, it hurt. It hurt, you know? But but I sat in it for a minute. I got through it, and I know he wanted me to keep pushing forward and keep being the better person every single day, right? Because he saw something in me, that was special, and, I honor that memory by still working hard, and I still remember him to this day, and I remember the life lessons he taught me. So, yes, in loss, there can be a way to get through it. There can be a way to get more resilient from it and get better from it. The next thing I want to talk about is your time is limited. There's only so many hours in the day. There's almost only certain amount of minutes in the day. There's only certain amount of things you could do on a daily basis, right? So you have to figure out where your time is important because, you know, things when you're obsessed with stuff and when you're, especially if you're in a problem, that problem can consume your day and consume your life, right? And then before you know it, I mean, I've had this happen to me plenty of times before where, it could be anything. It could be, just something bad happened. I don't know what it was. It could have been, something didn't go my way or, a relationship went bad or, I had an argument with somebody and you just sit and you sit and you sit and and you just it festers in you and your whole day gets consumed by that, right? And then what happens is 1 day goes, 2 day goes, 3 day goes, and you got to remember, time is precious. We have a certain amount of time on this earth. So make every day good. Make every day good. Okay, it's okay to have issues with people. It's okay to have problems in life. So just you know, learn how to, delegate your time properly and dedicate it to the right things and the important things in life, because, for me, every day that I lose is a day I don't learn something, and more lately, man, I've been focusing on gratitude. And once you focus on gratitude, your eyes open up to so many different things. And that comes down to that precious time, right? We all have a limited amount of time. Make the best of your time. The last thing I really want to talk about is life can be unfair sometimes. We've all been there. We've all been passed over for a promotion. We've all been, not picked for something. It could be anything. It could be anything. You know, but 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 when you realize that and you realize life is not fair, even if you deserve something, even if look at your part that you played, right? Let's say you were going up for it was a job interview, right? And or you're getting a promotion at your job. And both of you are going for this promotion. And you have all the qualifications. You work hard. You're there, every single day giving 100% to the job, right? And then somebody else, he's slacking off. He's not the best worker, but maybe he knows somebody, or maybe, maybe he's friendly with with the person who's making the decision and he gets the job. That's life. So what do you do? Do you stop working? Do you stop giving your all? Do you quit the job? I don't know, maybe. But what you really should do is realize what you are worth, right? And keep working hard, because somebody will notice that one day. And it might not be at the company you're at, it might be somewhere else, right? Opportunities are always open if you keep your eyes open. But if you stew in the adversity and you stew in that and you don't become resilient from that and get better from that and learn from the experience, then how are you ever going to change? So just be resilient, man. Stick the course with everything. Just stick the course. You can get there. You just have to be patient and just continually to do the next right thing. Well, I'm glad everybody, tuned in today. We've talked about a lot of different things, adversity in life, losing people, life isn't always fair. I could list everything that we just talked about, but what the truth is when life throws you a curveball, don't be afraid to hit it. I always hear this saying, when life gives you lemonades, make lemonade, right? Excuse me. Let me step back one second. So today we journeyed through the hard truths of life, how to deal with adversity and how to overcome them. And, hopefully some of the tools that I gave you that I used in my personal life and my personal experience hopefully helped you, to get that resilience, to get through the adversity, you know. And I always heard this saying before, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So what it says to me is things are going to happen. Things are going to, not always go your way. So what you should do is make the best out of them and grow from them. Everything in life is a teachable moment. You just have to be open to be taught. So once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully somebody got something out of this. And, if you could, and if you want to learn how to change your mindset shifts, and you want to learn how to become more resilient, to overcome adversity in life, tune in. We're on all the social media platforms. And, if you can, like, subscribe, comment, throw us a DM, tell us what you want to, listen to and hear. We're here for you. We're here to help you. And we want you to be a better person one day at a time. So until next time, keep being resilient and unleash your mindset.